It's 10 a.m. on WKYT Midmorning. A big week in presidential politics in Kentucky. We're live in Lexington, where one Republican candidate is making a campaign stop today.
An update on that massive landslide on I75 that's snarling traffic in southern Kentucky.
The 88th Academy Awards was last night, where a lack of diversity among the nominees was hard to miss.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning to you and welcome in. It's great to have you along on this Monday. It is Leap Day. Only happens the date once every 4 years.
So let's appreciate it. Here it is.
I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. It looks like we're off to a really good start, too. Boy, nice weekend.
Oh, wasn't it great, huh?
Yeah, easy to enjoy.
You know, the wind was an issue, and that's going to be the case again today, it sounds like. But, you know, we're heading into March, right? Let's check in with Micah.
Yeah, and that wind was a byproduct of that system that rolled on through last night, early this morning. And that gave us some showers. Yeah, that moved through. It didn't really bother us all that bad, especially while everybody was asleep. That's pushed through. It's a beautiful day in store. It's really nice. If you're not seeing sunshine, especially down southeast, just give it a little time and those clouds will start to break up. Temperatures are there in the 40s now, but we'll finish off in the 50s, about 10 degrees higher than where we are at this very moment. Really nice afternoon in store. But it's really about tomorrow. Tomorrow is what we're going to be focusing on because we have strong, potentially severe storms. I'm going to show you when you can expect those and what do you expect out of that system coming up.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Thank you.
Well, on the eve of Super Tuesday, the mudslinging on the Republican side of the race for the White House is at an all-time high.
Senators Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz are hoping to stop Donald Trump's momentum. Trump and Rubio spent the weekend proving there is rarely any love lost these days in presidential politics.
We don't need a guy who's sweating and scared.
He doesn't sweat because his pores are clogged from the spray tan that he uses.
The Super Tuesday primary puts the South in the spotlight. A new CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows Trump ahead in Georgia and Virginia, but he trails Ted Cruz in Texas. And with just 6 days until Kentucky's Republican caucus, another presidential candidate is trying to make a strong comeback. Today, Dr. Ben Carson is delivering his message to voters here in Lexington. His town hall event is about to begin any minute now. This is a live look inside the venue, where you can see hundreds of people are gathered. And WKYT's Mark Barber caught up with some Carson supporters, and Mark is live in Lexington with more on why they're turning out today. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. Voters are really starting to pack into the hit center here behind me. Now, a campaign staffer just took the stage a moment ago. He says there are still 300 people outside the center waiting to get in, waiting to go through security. So a really large crowd here now. Dr. Ben Carson is expected to take the stage around 10 a.m. They said he will have to go ahead and start speaking around 10 because they have other campaign stops to make today. But again, many people here still waiting to even get inside the building here. Many folks today tell me that they support Dr. Carson because of his intelligence, his faith, and his humility. Now, his campaign staffer says that when Carson takes the stage, he will speak for 30 minutes or so, and then he will take 15 minutes to answer questions from the crowd. After that, Carson will then take some questions from us. With just 6 days left until the Republican presidential caucus in Kentucky, this is Carson's chance to convince voters that he should be the nominee in July. The retired neurosurgeon is trying to make a comeback after slipping down to the bottom of the pack over the past few months. Some voters here tell me even though Carson has a fraction of the delegates that have been earned by Trump, Cruz, and Rubio, he still has their support.
Honestly, I do not think he has a shot, but I am hanging in there with Dr. Carson. I am going to vote for him, and I hope it's not a wasted vote, but I just am so convicted that he is the right person that I will vote for him.
While voters like Lenita Clark do not think that Carson will be able to take the nomination, others here do say that they share Carson's faith and they have faith themselves that he will be able to make that comeback and win the nomination to be the Republican presidential candidate for this election. Now, again, he's expected to take the stage here at 10 a.m. We will, of course, be here. We have a number of crews on the ground, and we will be bringing you another live report coming up on the next WKYT newscast at 12 and 12:30. That's the latest from the Hit Center. I'm Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you. We'll look for those reports in our noon news. And other Republican presidential candidates are also planning a trip to the Commonwealth this week ahead of the Saturday GOP presidential caucus here. Donald Trump will be at the Kentucky International Convention Center in Louisville tomorrow. And Senator Marco Rubio will be in Lexington on Friday.
A major traffic alert this morning in southern Kentucky. A 20-mile stretch of I-75 in Tennessee remains closed because of a rock slide. Crews say both northbound and southbound lanes could be closed for weeks. Detours are in place, but state police say there have been several crashes on those routes. Now, if you're traveling south today, cars are being encouraged to take I-75 south to Jellicoe. From there, you'll have to get off at exit 160 and then get onto US 25. Well, a different kind of mess caused trouble on I-75 in Lexington this morning. Police say a moving truck crashed into a guardrail, causing it to lose some of its load near the Winchester Road exit. The early morning crash caused significant slowdowns ahead of the morning rush. No one was hurt.
Police in Jessamine County are continuing to look for 3 gunmen who were behind an early morning robbery. It was just before 4 this morning when police say the men robbed the BP gas station on US 27 and Catnip Hill Road. Police say all 3 men had guns and masks over their faces. A woman is dead and a man fighting for his life after a shooting inside a Lexington home. Police say a relative found the victims yesterday morning at a house on Pittman Creek Court on the southeast side of the city. And police think one of the victims was the shooter, but they are not saying who shot whom. The man and the woman are in their 30s. Their names have not been released.
5 Ku Klux Klan members who were arrested following a vicious brawl in Anaheim, California, have been released from jail because police say they acted in self-defense. People say 7 people who remain in custody were seen beating, stomping, and attacking the Klansmen with wooden posts. The clash erupted after 6 Klan members arrived at a park Saturday for a planned anti-immigration rally. Police say the Klansmen stabbed 3 counter-protesters. An Army Staff Sergeant suspected of killing a rookie Virginia cop is expected to be arraigned today on murder charges. Ronald Hamilton allegedly opened fire on officers responding to a domestic violence call outside Washington Saturday, killing Ashley Gwendon on her first day on the job. County attorneys plan to seek the death penalty in the case.
An American student who's being detained in North Korea is apologizing for trying to steal a political banner. The 21-year-old said that he wanted the banner as a trophy to give to the mother of a friend. North Korea announced in late January that it had arrested the University of Virginia undergraduate student. Well, the newspaper drama Spotlight won Best Picture at this year's Academy Awards.
It's a film about the Boston Globe's investigative reporting on sexual abuse by Roman Catholic priests. Best Actor went to Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, and Best Actress went to Brie Larson for Room. Chris Rock hosted the night. His opening monologue was all about the all-white nominees.
Well, I'm here at the Academy Awards, otherwise known as the White People's Choice Awards. You realize if they nominated host, I wouldn't even get this job.
Now, Rock had stayed quiet before the ceremony as the controversy raged over the 2nd straight year of all-white acting nominees. Outside the Oscars were protests, including one outside the Dolby Theater by the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Well, after years of planning, a new hotel in downtown Lexington will open up later today. There will be a ribbon-cutting ceremony and an open house this afternoon at the 21C Museum Hotel. It's on Main Street. It's in the old First National Bank building, an iconic building down there. Room rates range from about $200 a night to $700 a night for the 15th floor suite. The restaurant inside the hotel, called the Lockbox, opened up earlier this month.
It'll be interesting to see what they've done with everything.
Right.
Well, keep it posted. Keep it right here this mid-morning. He's an old soul, but really he's just now hitting the legal drinking age.
Find out how his family and friends are celebrating this once every 4-year birthday coming up after weather.
And the weather day today is absolutely fantastic. Now we get into tomorrow, we're talking about strong, potentially severe thunderstorms. And then after that, a little bit of snow. I have a lot to talk about, and I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It's a really nice day outside. It actually feels pretty good. It's still a little cool this morning, but once we hit the afternoon, still getting plenty of sunshine. We'll start to feel those temperatures jump about 8 to 10 more degrees than where they are at this very moment. We're at 46 now in the London-Corbin area. We'll finish off right around 53, 54 degrees in that region. You go into the central and northern zones, same story for you guys too, as it looks like we'll have a really nice day today, as we'll finish off mid-50s by the afternoon, low to mid-50s. Then going off into the evening, still no big issues whatsoever overnight and into tomorrow morning. We'll start off pretty much where we are this morning. Now let's pay attention to what's going on tomorrow, because tomorrow is our focus of the forecast, the one we're really tracking and keeping an eye on the next 24 to 48 hours. There is that severe weather threat, and that's going to go for everybody in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. If you are watching this morning, you will be under that slight chance of severe weather tomorrow. This has absolutely no ingredients for an outbreak type of setup. However, it's just enough. You'll get a strong line of thunderstorms rolling on through, and you'll get embedded severe cells within that. So it's not widespread severe weather, but you'll get some isolated severe storms within that line as it tracks on through tomorrow, anywhere from noontime to about 6 p.m. That is your best bet right now for timing. The main threat out of this will be damaging winds as it passes on through. And not only that, but any water that falls out of the sky is just not good right now. Just due to the fact our ground's very saturated, very soaked still. And it looks like we're going to get more water falling out of the sky tomorrow with those storms moving on through. Today, 53, really good day. 62 for tomorrow. That's out ahead of our main line that'll push on through. Wednesday off into Thursday, Friday. There's some snow chances in there, but none of these seem likely to actually pick up accumulation. Number one, the ground is way too warm still. Number two, it's just not much snow out of this. So I just don't see much of an impact out of these systems as they travel on through. It'll be more of a nuisance than anything else heading through your Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Off towards your weekend turns out to be pretty decent. Not all that bad. Only very, very slight chances of rain there as we jump back to the 40s and 50s in the forecast. Guys, we've had 2 consecutive weekends. Really nice conditions. Next weekend, there's that possibility that we'll get back to it, maybe 50s, 60s there on Sunday. We'll see how that turns out.
I just got your clicker, so I think maybe I can handle that. I'm going to take care of that for you.
You can advance it wherever you want to go with that.
Oh, that's too much power. I'll give it back to you, okay?
Well, thank you. We'll hope the timing of that does work out that
absolutely.
way. Well, this is leap year, and today, February 29th, is leap day.
So it's a special day for 84-year-old Paul Nebels of Pennsylvania, who's really only celebrating his 21st birthday today. Nebels says he usually celebrates on February 28th or March 1st, or who knows, maybe both. But this year, family and friends threw him a special surprise party.
My son and I were both had our 8th birthdays in the same year. Can you imagine that?
About 180,000 people in the U.S. will celebrate birthdays today, so happy birthday to all the leap year babies out there. Leap days.
It has to be kind of neat for them, you know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not as many candles to blow out. Much easier.
Sort of have their choice, you know, which birthday they want to choose, right?
That's right. Well, Madonna's backup dancers are describing life on the road with the Material Girl.
Suzanne Marquez has that story and more in your Eye on Entertainment.
Madonna fans remember her Blonde Ambition tour from the 1990s and the group of 7 dancers that traveled with her around the world.
Bring it back down. Nice.
Now, 25 years later, the new documentary, Strike a Pose, relives that era through interviews with the dancers themselves.
It was really hard because we were so young at that time, you know, we were babies, so we basically like grew attached to each other. Like when you're really young, you grow up with a brother and sister. That's what it felt like.
Strike a Pose premieres in the U.S. in April. Strike a Pose. One of the Baywatch stars is making waves again with a new TV series. David Hasselhoff's 6-episode comedy, Hoff the Record, debuts next month after airing in the UK. Hasselhoff stars as a fictional version of himself restarting his career in England.
You must not open the door.
The Walking Dead star Sarah Wayne Callies goes from zombies to ghosts in a new horror movie. The Other Side of the Door is about a grieving mother who upsets the balance between life and death in a ritual to bring back her son.
It's sort of a third legitimate family drama, and then a third kind of a psychological thriller, and then a third, I hear, terrifying horror movie.
The Other Side of the Door arrives in theaters Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Hey, it's good to have you along with us mid-morning on WKYT. Have you ever wanted to complete a marathon? Well, now, here's your chance.
Details about this year's Kentucky Ale Horse Capital Marathon next on WKYT.
And Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $135 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $292 million. We'll be right back on Mid-Morning. Welcome back in. Great to have you on Mid-Morning on WKYT. Maybe you're a serious runner, or maybe completing a marathon is on your bucket list. Either way, registration is now open for this year's Kentucky Ale Horse Capital Marathon and Half Marathon.
Race Director Bob Bainey is here with all the details. Welcome. Makes you think of spring when you start talking about things like this.
That's right. That's right. We've had a great, this last weekend was awesome. I think we've got a good one coming up according to Micah. So let's get into running and getting outside and doing some fun things.
Great time to go out and train. And tell us about this year's race, really races coming up, right?
We've got a full marathon and a half marathon. So the full marathon is 26.2 miles. The half is 13.1. It's May 21st, Saturday, May 21st at 7 o'clock at Fasig-Tipton in North Lexington. We're 2 weeks after the Derby, so we let the horses do their thing, and then the people will come out and run past 45 beautiful horse farms in North Lexington.
What do you think it is that makes this so unique? Is it because you're running by all those gorgeous farms? Yeah. Is that
I think part of it is the scenery. That's what we hear from runners from out of state. Last year we had runners from 37 states, so they came from all over the United States to be a part of our race. The scenery was a part of it, the hospitality of Central Kentucky. The fact that it's a Boston Marathon qualifier. There's only a couple of those in the state, so those that want to give a shot at going to Boston in April of next year have a chance at our race.
So you really are going to have serious and not so serious too. That
Correct,
combination.
Correct, we do. And for the half marathon, we allow walkers. We have the roads essentially closed or limited for 6.5 hours. So those that want to walk the full half marathon are certainly welcome to do that.
We're going to be pretty serious to complete that 26-mile run. What would you say, Bob, that to those out there who might be thinking that, you know, this is a bucket list thing, or this is just that one time that they want to pull this off? Maybe they've never done one before. They can probably still have enough time to train, get ready, or is it close?
I believe so. As I said, some can even walk it, and they can come out as a group of walkers if that's the way they want to approach it, and walk 20 minutes, a mile, and make the half marathon and kind of check that off their bucket list, get their 13.1 sticker for their car. We have a lot that are at various stages in running and walking. So we just enjoy people being out and helping. We're about 90 days away, so there's still plenty of time to train. We do training runs every month, and we'll kick those off, and they're really going on throughout. But they're welcome to come out and join us for those as well.
Are you going to need volunteers and people to help with the race?
We would, yes, we do. Yes. So horsecapitalmarathon.com, you can register as a runner or a walker or as a volunteer there.
All right, so go ahead and sign up and enjoy it.
Yes.
Thank
you.
That might be the easier way to go, block off a street, you know.
I like that, yes. Well, keep it right here this mid-morning.
Back in just a moment, we'll be checking in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next on this leap day and see what's cooking up.
Welcome back. The recipe for these pancakes make them a great option for breakfast or dinner.
Right, pancakes are good anytime. Today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, double cheese pancakes.
Today's February 29th, which means we're in a leap year. And for those of you celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday. You're in good company with notables like the late Dinah Shore and actor Antonio Sabato Jr., as well as about 4 million other folks who only get to celebrate their actual birthday once every 4 years. Rather than showing you how to make a 4-layer cake to celebrate this day, we decided to whip up a batch of our doubly good cheese pancakes, which are special enough for any birthday breakfast or dinner. To make them, we start by beating some cream cheese and cottage cheese together until they're well combined. Now to that, we add a good amount of eggs. Once they're combined, we mix in some breadcrumbs, melted butter, a bit of salt, and a little sugar. After this sits for about 10 minutes, so the breadcrumbs can absorb some of the liquid, we spoon the batter onto a hot buttered griddle. But unlike regular pancakes, these are just as good served as a side dish for dinner as they are for the perfect rise and shine breakfast. I hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our double cheese pancakes so you can be armed with a recipe that'll have you leaping for joy. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a special day kind of way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Look good for brunch about now.
We finally all agree on one thing.
That's a good one.
And that's it. Yeah, that's a really nice one. All right, let's look outside. Here's what we're going to be dealing with the rest of the day. We're sitting there in the low 50s, mid 50s, and then we get off toward tomorrow. This is, no doubt about it, 100% your best day in the workday forecast. So we get off toward tomorrow. It'll actually feel really nice. But that nice feel is for one reason. Here comes some storms in the forecast, and that's really what we're going to be paying attention to, talking a lot about later on today here at WKYT News at noontime. We're going to be going over new weather data that's coming in. We're going to show you on the timing on this when you can expect that, as it looks like it should track through here during the afternoon at some time, but I'm going to break it down even further than that coming up at noon.
All right.
March may come in like a lion.
It might.
We'll see.
Thank you for joining us for Mid-Morning.
We'll see you back here at noon. Make it a great day, everybody.